The head of World Motorsport, Max Mosley, has won his high-profile privacy case against a British tabloid newspaper. Here he is, the Formula One boss. He sued the News of the World newspaper for breach of privacy after it claimed he'd taken part in a Nazi-themed orgy. Commenting afterwards, Mr. Mosley said this judgment has nailed the Nazi lie upon which the News of the World sought to justify their disgraceful intrusion into my private life. BBC's Kevin Geary reports.
A man vindicated, if not exactly untarnished. Max Mosley arriving at the High Court today to hear that he'd won his breach of privacy case against the News of the World. For years, Max Mosley had been much like many a sports administrator, a seemingly unremarkable man who unobtrusively wielded much power in Formula One as president of the FIA, the world governing body. Then, suddenly, instant notoriety as the News of the World slapped a lurid story on its front page detailing his involvement in a sadomasochistic orgy with prostitutes. It took place at this London flat, and the paper claimed that the session had Nazi overtones because some of the women were wearing prison-style uniforms. He successfully sued for invasion of privacy, claiming exemplary and punitive damages. Today's judgment awarded him £60,000, and he vigorously denied that what went on had any Nazi connotations. He argued in court that being the son of Britain's pre-war fascist leader, Oswald Mosley, made him keen to avoid any such connection. Though he won a confidence vote at a special meeting of the FIA in Paris, he will always now be regarded as a controversial figure, with some in motorsport claiming that his continued presidency makes him a liability.
I think the damage has been done, and I think he's got a very difficult situation. I think you'll find that he'll probably retire when his name's put forward next time. I think we're going to lose by it. I think that he's done an awful lot of good, and it's going to be difficult to get somebody else to do that sort of thing around the world.
Mr. Mosley's opponents point out that whereas in the past he had been a welcome guest of the Crown Prince of Bahrain, this year he was discouraged from attending the country's Grand Prix. Some still believe that there remains the threat of a split developing within motorsport if Mr. Mosley serves out his full term. But a man prepared to have his sex life held up to public scrutiny in court is unlikely to heed further calls to quit after a case which could be a defining one for British privacy laws. Kevin Geary, BBC News.
Well, joining us here in the studio is Rod Dadak, who's a privacy lawyer for the company Lewis Silkin. Thanks for joining us, Rod. Just how significant is this judgment? Is it a landmark case?
The judge said it wasn't a landmark case, but it is a landmark case in terms of damages, because this is a relatively large amount of damages in connection with a privacy case.
But he didn't award punitive damages.
No, he didn't award punitive damages, and he could have awarded a lot more than £60,000.
Is this now going to open the floodgates, though, do you think?
Not entirely, but certainly those who have money and who can afford to litigate will litigate over privacy matters now, whereas before they wouldn't because there wasn't enough money in it.
So you do think that perhaps the balance is shifting in favour of respecting people's privacy as a result of this?
Yes, I do. I think the balance is shifting where newspapers perhaps are seen to have behaved irresponsibly and need to be brought to heel for publishing material that clearly invades privacy, as this case clearly did.
Tell us about the judgment, though, in relation to the video that was on the website, because there seems to be some confusion there. We are still able to show that video, for instance, and it's out there on YouTube.
Well, the video, one thing about privacy is that photography or video material is extremely damaging. It highlights the infringement. The judge was asked to actually remove it from the web, but declined to do so on the basis that it had already been in the public domain so much that there was no point. Right. But there is an argument, I think, for saying that he perhaps should have insisted that it be removed. And I believe Mr. Mosley's just applied for a permanent injunction.
Well, we'll see. Rod, thank you very much for joining us with that. We do perhaps hope to join Max Mosley. He'll be giving a statement outside the court shortly, and we will bring that to you live just as soon as we get it.